Welcome back to the New Modelers Army channel. I'm Dave, and this is another episode of What's in the Box. I got a recent delivery from HLJ or Hobby Link Japan, and got a whole bunch of kits that came in. During the summertime there seems to be like a huge release of models from Tamiya and Hasegawa and everybody. So it's going to be a pretty big couple of months coming up through June, July and September. So the kit here I have on my left I actually bought at my local hobby store, which is Hobbytown USA, and I picked it up for a pretty good price. It was only 16 bucks. It is the HG 144 scale Hyakushiki. If I pronounce that wrong, I apologize, but I picked this model up for a couple of reasons. One, it's a great deal. Two, it's shiny and gold. And three is I wanted to try out a color scheme on it that I'm going to do to its bigger brother, which recently just got released. So if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I did that, I think it was last weekend, and I really like the way it came out, and I think it looks pretty good. But anyway, on to the models that we see from HLJ. And usually you save the best to last. In this case we're going to save, actually the last model is pretty cool too, but the first model is the MG 2.0 Hyakushiki that we built the smaller version of, and this just got released. The gold that they use on this kit is a little different. It's more of a matte gold. It's like a satin finish on it though. It looks really cool, and unlike the shiny gold, it won't show up all the fingerprints. But I'm going to put photographs, detailed pictures of this on the Facebook page, and there'll be a link in the description below. But we have, let me see how many runners we have. We have 3 runners of this beautiful gold. And then we have the blue. Now the blue on this kit I painted black, a nice matte finish, and I think I'm going to do the same. Blue is my favorite color. I mean, blue car, got a blue motorcycle, I love wearing blue shirts, but blue plastic sometimes on models just doesn't work for me, so I either paint it black or some other color. So we're going to paint that black. And then we got the internal parts. The red I painted on this, I used my, I think it was Italian red from Tamiya. We're going to do the same again. We're going to brighten that red up so it stands out a little more. But the inner skeleton for this kit is pretty impressive, and I'm going to try and build it separately. Build up the skeleton of the model, and then take a couple of photographs of that, and then we'll add the outer pieces on. If we can do that, I'm possibly going to give it a shot. Anyway, we've got a couple of FX parts, some more red pieces, and then of course the instructions. Let me see. It's a pretty hefty size manual. I don't know why they didn't do all the gold pieces gold. There's a piece on his weapon that isn't gold. It's like a yellow plastic, so might have to paint that red, I think. But let me see how many speeds it's got. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. There's a whole bunch of sprues. And I think it should have some decals somewhere. I don't think it has many. Oh, there it is. It just has a few. This kit, I think it just came with like 2 decals, and I used one of them on his shoulder. And then the nice thing about this kit, from what I've read, it has 2 or 3 different faces that you can give him, and also it's actually got 3 different eyes. It's got like a black, a red, and then like black with like static on it or something, which is pretty cool. So not sure which one I'm going to use yet. His face is pretty cool. It actually looks like Sauron from Lord of the Rings. But anyway, that's the first kit. I'm going to show you. And like I said, there'll be pictures of this on the Facebook page. Great kit. It's a little bit hard to get hold of at the moment, but I'm sure you're going to be able to get one later. If you get a HLJ and it says back ordered or something like that, keep checking back and you'll probably find that it pops up. Or place an order and just wait for it to come in. So I'm going to put this down. So the next kit is another release from the Origin series of Gundam, and this is the Guntank early type. It's modeled in plastic, grey plastic. I think there's like 3 different colours. And we have pre-molded tracks, which is pretty cool because they've got some nice sag in the track themselves. We've got some decals with some kind of pinstripe in there. And then we have a couple of like cam pieces here. This is where the arms are going to connect, like a shoulder piece. And then the top actually looks like the top of a Sherman, maybe a 1/44 scale Sherman tank. Some nice detail on that. What I'm going to probably do with this though is I'm probably going to give it a custom paint job. I don't mind the grey so much, but I'm going to give it a good old coat of olive drab and actually make it look like a tank. I may do some work on the barrels and give them like a muzzle brake. Maybe even put an LED in there because he has kind of a big helmet. And it has a big screen for his eyes, so I think maybe an LED behind that would look really cool. But anyway, so that's the early type Gundam tank. So there's quite a few decals in there. HG 1/44 scale. Looks pretty good. And then we have 2 kits, and these are just recent releases. These are both from Meng, and they're Japanese aircraft. They're both Second World War prototype aircraft. I do believe this one, the Mansyu, the K98, did get built. It's a pretty simple aircraft. It's 1/72nd scale. Not a crazy amount of pieces in here. We've just got 2 sprues. It's got like a push-pull prop. Very simple. But because it was a prototype, I think I have a little bit more freedom to express myself artistically with the kit itself. There's not much detail in the cockpit. It's got a really small little canopy there. It does come with some nice decals, kind of unusual for this kind of kit. Meng usually do a fantastic job on their kits, and if you haven't gone to the Meng website, I'll put a link in the description below. They have an unusual naming series for their kits, and they name them after dinosaurs. So they have like a Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptor, and they have all these different kind of series. But this is going to be like for a future project, and really going to be able to like let my imagination run wild with this one. The KU4 Katsuodori here, the 1/72nd scale from Meng, is something I've really been looking forward to because they actually they've got 2 runners. They're identical, so they've actually given you 2 aircraft to build. It's very simple. You just have the fuselage, the wing, and then a whole bunch of different ways to display. You can attach it to a bomber, you can put it on a trolley, you can have it on takeoff gear, and then you have a really simple ramjet, a couple of boosters, and then a very, very, very simple cockpit. We got 2 canopies here. Really no detail on them at all, just kind of smooth canopies. They look good, they look clear. And then we have decals for 2 aircraft. And you can make both of the versions that you see. You have the Imperial Japanese Army and then the Imperial Japanese Navy. So I think that's a pretty good deal, getting 2 aircraft in one box. And it's really nice that they did that. They could have just put 1 in there, but Meng have put 2 aircraft. So I get to build both variations. And how often do you get that in a kit? It's almost never. So that'd be a really cool project to see with 2 different versions of the same craft. Last kit we have here is the Snowspeeder. As you know, I've already got the TIE Fighter, the X-Wing, we've got Vader's ship, and now we have the 1/48 scale Snowspeeder modified Icon T-47 Air Speeder. So like all of their kits that they built for the Bandai built for the Star Wars, they have a couple of different colors of grey, and they have like a dark grey there instead of black. Really nice looking canopy there. That's got a lot of detail on it. In fact, it's got 2, looks like it's got 2 different types of canopy. Probably for the front and the back. But it's kind of simple. It's got like an outer shell. It's got some nice details there for some of the interior. We've got like a snow landscape for the display. A couple of pilots. And then a couple of the FX parts. Looks pretty simple, but I think you can do a lot with it to bring out some of that detail. And then as usual, we've got decals and we've got stickers. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to do paint as well. I'm not just going to put the decals or the stickers onto the craft itself. I'm actually going to give it some paint. And then a nice little instructions. I really like the way Bandai did the instructions for the Star Wars series. It's a little different than they did with their Gundam series. And it looks like we have 7 steps. And it looks pretty impressive with the markings on. So that'll come together when I eventually get around to building all of my Star Wars kits, which hopefully will be towards the timing of the release of the movie. So that's what came in the box from HLJ this month. We have the Origin, Early Type, RTX 65 Guntank, the 2 prototype kits from Meng, 1/72 scale, which I'm really looking forward to building. The Snowspeeder to add to the Star Wars collection in 1/48 scale, and of course the MG 2.0 Hyakushiki, which is up there on the shelf. Hopefully it won't be there too long. We'll get around to building that pretty soon. As always, I'll put links in the description below for these products on the HLJ website, and detailed pictures on our Facebook page, so go and check that out. As always, thank you for watching the New Modelers Army channel.